over.
All right, let's see what Spawn's got cooking. I was reading the community discussions between the end of the last game and the start of this one. A lot of questions about, they wonder what Spawn's belt is like, because they figured he would be whipping that one out after the loss in game number 2. But we'll see what the draft looks like here for number 3 as the Smolder and the Lilia.
There's our producer Zeus with his
Zeus.
kids, Lucas and Isla, excuse me.
Shout out to the
Very
Zeus family.
sweet.
What's
Zeus
up, guys?
Zeus is definitely an MVP here at the LCS. So if you're an LCS fan, you love Zeus.
Oh, I see we have some FlyQuest bias, actually, as well, in the family.
Oh, curious.
Young Lucas here is a budding FlyQuest fan.
All right,
Okay.
all right. I do love me some fandom, boys. I do love me some fandom. But we have the Nasus also banned out by TL. Already went over the first couple of bans there with the Smolder and Lilia, as Ivern, Ziggs, and Rumble are banned out by FlyQuest. And Team Liquid, once again, Corki is up, Corki is locked in. Like clockwork.
I mean, that has been the go-to for APA for quite a while, really just living in this meta. Let's see about FlyQuest, though, because honestly, I really like their answers. I just think that TL probably this time around will adjust a little bit of gameplay issue. Yeah, you see him, he's so shocked. So there's a surprised Bwipo face.
And did you see he has his emotional support shark, as he calls it, on stage there with him that he was playing with, which is helping him to stay calm in these matches. The Renekton, this is now, I want to say, he 4 straight last week, so this is 6 straight Renekton in playoffs, I do believe. Has been looking really good on it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
The man plays a lot of Lizard.
And a lot of Mummy as well has been the name of the game for playoffs LCS meta here. Amumu, the king of teamfight frontline CC, still remains.
Renekton and Amumu are like Egyptian buddies, right? Because Amumu is a mummy, which
I'm
is
looking
from
at
Egypt.
the splashes. That looks pretty Shuriman. You know, some sand in the background.
Renekton's inspired by like...
But it doesn't matter where Amumu's from because he has no
River.
friends. His whole lore is that he has no friends.
Hey, after this draft, Renekton is his friend because these two are getting picked back-to-back by FlyQuest in every single game. They are buddies, like it or not. And hey, if Renekton's on one side, I'll give you guys one guess. What goes on the other side?
That's a good drawing. I respect.
Yeah.
The Nasus, stop banning it. We saw it look good yesterday.
Another Shuriman champion. I think he's related to Renekton.
They're brothers.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
any
related.
lore.
Yeah.
The only lore I know is lore that I've accidentally learned.
I'm pretty
Well,
sure...
here you got some more now.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Nasus is the nice one and Renekton's the mean one. And they're brothers.
That checks out.
I know
just
Rammus rolls around and
eyeball.
says okay in the desert. That was his initial lore.
Yeah.
I think it's been updated.
Dude, we are getting a run back. We are getting a run back here from both teams.
If
Now-
they pick MF again,
I doubt it.
You're not going to be happy, Isaac?
no.
I doubt it. But I also like the other adjustments that FlyQuest made. You know, the Renata was also very impactful. Busio. Busio's been a really good Renata for a very long time. And it's just so cool to see the FlyQuest bottom lane being a priority.
Absolutely. I mean, these guys have developed so fast, it feels like. Busio was most valuable prospect, the previous year. Massu was most valuable prospect last year. These guys have really had a pretty meteoric rise, it feels like. Massu in 2022 was playing in amateur in tier 3. Last year, he was in Academy, won Most Valuable Prospect. This year, he's in the LCS. He went to MSI. He's going to Worlds. He won Rookie of the Year, and he's on All-Pro. Like, that is crazy.
And here we're seeing the adjustment. So TL last time, because they already saw the Amumu, that's why they wanted to deny like
The
a misfortune.
self-ban. They're like, we saw your you're not playing.
we don't want you to play it with the Amumu, but then we don't want to have to play it into an Aurelion Sol ultimate and everything.
Respect. Sometimes I'm playing flex queue with the boys. Someone locks in Yasuo game 1. I'm like, you know what? We're going to have to ban that for game 2.
Yeah. Friends don't let friends int.
Exactly. So saving him from himself there. Of course, really they are, as you said, Kobe, denying it from that bullet time combo with the Amumu is a really strong AoE combo. But curious to see where they're going to go now, because obviously a lot of bot laners are being banned out. Ashe, MF, the Senna obviously in support. The Kai'Sa's being banned out. Ziggs mostly been playing bot these days. The Ezreal's going to get taken away. The Smolder obviously mostly been playing solo lanes, but also still bot. So they're pushing them pretty far down the tier list, I would say.
I mean, I like a full run back from FlyQuest. Like, their comp looks so good.
Yep.
And, it has the Ezreal ultimate damage over the top for a lot of these CCs. You're talking about interrupting people. Yeah. Even if it is going to be a different AD carry, and it will be for Team Liquid, I still really like the foundation that FlyQuest set up.
Absolutely. The Garen mid please sign has to join powers with the don't ban Nasus sign, because I think we're only
So
getting
then we get Garen versus Nasus.
Exactly.
Okay. I mean, I'm down with that. I'm down with after all of these games of Corki versus somebody else that scales, give me Garen versus Nasus, all right?
Both take Ignite. Just go at it.
Steal away the Renata. Nice. Another one here.
Okay.
So TL with the little adjustments. And I think this one will be an impactful one.
Plus, Kalista paired with Renata is one of the all-time classic bully bottom lanes.
But also a Karma Ezreal. If you're talking about classics here, the double poke is going to be priority.
And Renata can really struggle against these ranged enchanters in the bot lane. You know, a lot of her strength is about playing against these melee champions, denying engage, the counter engage, things like the bailout. Bailout really has no value when you're just getting poked and chipped down. It's more about the 100-0 plays that you can try to turn around. So Karma Ezreal, they're picking for the 2v2. They leave Busio for that 5th pick counter pick, and we'll see how well they can do, because this is just so much. I mean, for lack of a better term, it's hit or miss, right? You know, you hit your skill shots, you dominate, you miss them, you are useless.
Ezreal's quote, it's all skill shots for that bottom lane. I want to see junglers, because when you see a bottom lane matchup like this, you expect junglers to get in the mix and actually try and punish.
Is that what we're expecting? Is a lot of jungle attention around bot, or do you think the constant beat up on Bwipo strategy is once again going to rear its head, as Bwipo has been targeted early in both games thus far?
Personally, I would focus bottom lane, and I think that they will go there. But of course, that crocodile has been luring a lot of fellows top lane.
It really has. I mean, both sides went top a lot.
Earlier in the day, Isaac, the last time Team Liquid lost a series was 170 days ago, back in Spring Split against FlyQuest. Man, FlyQuest would love to put him in that same spot again.
All right, this time around, we got a good luck, have fun from Impact. No trash talk on the Aurelion Sol pick. No trash talk this time around. You got to at least kill him once to be able to trash it.
All right, we got Raz standing by with Spawn while we wait on the minions.
You just after this was the first loss that you guys had in the playoffs thus far. Just kind of the yeah, first reactions to it, but also just the takeaway that you had coming in the environment and all that in the back.
Not much of a takeaway, to be honest. I think we just didn't fight third dragon when we should have. Put us in a little bit of a time bomb. They're just picking ultra scaling in every lane. So you know, we got to play a little bit better. So that's what I said to the guys. Just go out there, take it to them. We're the top dog. Like fight them.
Okay, I mean that's pretty question. Basically, they're going back to the Aurelion Sol. Any kind of thoughts on what you want to do differently, specifically going into this game against that pick?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Ian is a really good Aurelion Sol as well. We know the strengths and the weaknesses of the champion. I feel like we need to dictate the terms of the game. We can't trade against our team comp, so, you know, we'll look to push them out and just play a little bit more aggressive, I hope.
Love the answers, and I'll go straight to the casters for that.
Happy Father's Day.
Oh, the mic cut out for the shout-out.
Since I heard Australia.
I want to say Happy Mother's Day for Australia or something. Happy something day.
Hell yeah, Australia. Let's go.
Something good's happening in Australia.
Yeah. Let's go, Australia. All right. Sorry, Spawn, we're trying.
Personally, I really like the angle he's going for, as far as don't trade them anything. You want to cross map when you have so much scaling. You want to get those trades, but TL, if Spawn is to be believed, they're going to fight them off of everything and not give them the options for the cross maps and for the trades.
Something that also has been really interesting about this series is the fact that we have had no lane swaps, right? Lane swaps have been such a big discussion in the LCS. This is the percentage of games with a lane swap for these two teams. Number 1, number 2, and everyone has been talking about Impact, CoreJJ, they just run the game in a lane swap. You can't stop Liquid in a lane swap. They're so hard to play against, from pros to casters to analysts, everybody. Haven't seen a single lane swap. So it is interesting. I do think if TL lose again, we might see a pivot in strategy, and that might push us into that lane swap territory.
All right, early on here. Nothing too crazy just yet, as Umti's ready to make his entry into the bottom lane. Flash for the twisted advance. Busio is just getting juggled around and knocked back, but he can flash away to safety to survive.
Don't get that in lane swap, baby. That's a standard gank. Get that Maokai in there at level 3. Actually, just the bottom quadrant. And what did we say coming out of Champion Select? Number 1 thing?
Go bottom.
Go bottom. Junglers get in there. So happy to see that vindicated. And they do get the double sums out of Busio. It's a very targeted use of time. You know that you want to take away the safety from the double poke lane because they are so squishy. Now Busio and Massu have to play so much more respectful of the Kalista Renata that can all in continue. Of course, CoreJJ did use his flash to set that up, as did Umti, and so there were resources invested, but you're specifically targeting that Karma, setting up your kill target for the early game.
But look at the Amumu heading down towards bot. It's like, yeah, let him push in. Core has no flash. This could be that second gang being the deadlier one. Core is playing pretty far back, knows that this is a possibility perhaps, but we'll see if they do walk up, because if they do, there is that chance that they could get jumped on.
Ooh, Bwipo almost stole away that Gromp with the call to Meek, but now the 3v2 here in the bottom lane. They just might kill Busio first. It's first blood over to Yeon as CoreJJ is traded back. Yeon has to flash, trying to survive a little bit longer. Mystic shot hits, but the barrier blocks most of it. Inspired down to 200 HP, but he doesn't have to flash to escape the turret. Meanwhile, back in the top side, that 1v1's gonna come to life, but there's really not a whole lot more life to find unless Renekton goes too close to the turret again. So nothing more to say. 1-1, 4.5 minutes into the game.
Yep, still getting the first blood here. CoreJJ walks up, he goes immediately for that kill target that they set up. He made the call, Busio's got no summoner spells, you walk right at him, even with the Amumu there on top of you, he focuses, Busio goes down first, so first blood, extra bonus gold to the side of Team Liquid, into the hands of Yeon with the Rend, and then he also tried to do a little barrier bait under tower, a little bit more, and they might have been able to squeeze something else out, but really nice kind of reaction there. And this is all afforded to, as you're saying, he's coming in for a lane gank, so it's a good timer from Inspired. TL, they use all their resources to check the vision coming from traditional gank path, but during that time, Inspired did the lane gank through that fog of war. I just think that is a good heads up from CoreJJ to immediately recognize, I'm not getting out, so we have to go for the kill.
Yep, and the Guardian and the bailout bought enough time, right? That they were able to get the first blood. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but Kalista gets the first blood. Unfortunately for TL, Ezreal also got a kill, so things pretty even in that regard, but it's well played by the TL 2v2 to be able to find that outplay in a 2v3.
The other thing that you're afforded is with Amumu showing later, then the Maokai gets the full catch-up time needed. We saw like the invade from Bwipo trying to stop him on Gromp and trying to mess with his jungle clear. That allowed Maokai to go then compensate for the camps that he skipped in going for the initial gank and then still get Dragon, which is paramount for this TL as Busio wraps.
Yeah, Busio's coming around from the side. This could turn into a 3v3. Umti's coming around, but he's still trying to finish off the Krugs. CoreJJ is very low, and he barely survives until the Mystic Shot connects. Umti finally getting into the mix, but Yeon is too low to continue the fight. Another 1-for-1 trade bottom lane.
Yeah, the targets were split there by FlyQuest. Inspired wanted to go for Yeon, but everyone else was going for Core, so he flashed past and the damage got split. That allowed the time for TL to actually get that kill first.
Another 2v3 counter kill from TL. Even though they drop one, they get another. This one, though, the kill credit actually going to CoreJJ, whereas Ezreal got the kill credit on the side here for Massu. So that kind of makes up for that earlier first blood bonus that went their way, as far as the AD carries are concerned, at least. Also, now you get the flip side, where Inspired's first here up to the Grubs. So since Team Liquid got their first Hex Dragon, it's on Impact here, coming down to confirm, yep, they are just trading, they are finishing off those Grubs, and it will give the global alert.
We are 7 minutes into the game, and Bwipo has not been killed yet. This is the first game in this series where that is a true statement. The focus on top side has subsided compared to...
Guys, just look over and I see all these FlyQuest jerseys and everyone...
Like, oh, that's a good point. Yeah,
Ears are going up. They like that.
FlyQuest fans.
You're out of pocket, but you're not wrong.
They're happy to see Bwipo doing fine up there in the top lane. Couple hundred gold lead for him. Couple hundred gold lead for Inspired in the jungle as well. Let's see. Mid lane, as Quad just wants to finish up farming the wave here. He knows that APA can't kill him or even interrupt the flight as he just continues falling back. He's going to take his recall, go ahead and shop as APA uses the opportunity to place some vision down at the entrance to the enemy jungle.
Now, since we do have some time and since the bottom lane is the focus of this game, I just want to revel in the fact that we are once again in this LCS meta where our top 2 AD carries are North American talent, and very young North American talent that the organizations themselves have invested so heavily in. Yeon, we talked about so much during the rise of Team Liquid, during playoffs and their MSI performance, all their internationals, as well as at Worlds. but also on the side of FlyQuest, they too invested in their younger talent, and we're really seeing them thrive on the LCS stage.
Yeah, I mean, it has paid off big time, right? Yeon was the Rookie of the Year last year. Massu's the Rookie of the Year this year. And they have been doing such a good job for these teams as the trading. Oh, almost got Core. That potion.
I think if CoreJJ would have been just slightly slower getting out of the way, he would have got hit by the Aftershock of the Enchanted Inner Flame, and that would have taken him down. So barely getting away from that one. As Yeon has Umti hanging around nearby, maybe they're going to try to bait Massu and Busio in here, but Inspired is also ready to reinforce.
Yeah, junglers, I think, will continue to focus on this lane. Inspired has ult, but no flash, and Umti is doing the wraparound ult early.
Okay. Inspired knows he's going to have to try to help here as...
They see him.
Yeah, they do not want to overcommit for this one. 2v3 is a fool's errand here for Team Liquid, so FlyQuest can get everybody away.
Yeah, it's a smart disengage. Inspired showed, all right, we can't go for it. You know, if you go in there and you get ulted by Inspired, you're just going to go down.
Dead.
It's going to be a freebie. And Core was too far away. He was still walking back from base. He did get those tier 2 boots to try to get back here a little bit faster, but of course was not there in time to support the play. But a small win for them is that Massu did have to go back to base knowing Core was going to arrive. He was low on health, so it's at least some of the CS denied from him.
Yeah.
Inspired will pick it up, but it is nice to slow down that Ezreal a little bit, even if you can, since he got those 2 early kills.
This alone time here too. Quad is constantly pushed under tower, but is still stacking pretty well for the Aurelion Sol. And doing quite nice for himself. Nice defensive ward here. Does see the ward placement. I love when you're able to place the ward during the support roam timer. So even though you know CoreJJ is getting deep vision, now your team could actually use it against them because you know where it was placed. And that ward that they got down, that extra vision, seeing the ward placement from Core could be big.
And I am expecting TL, both given the draft, but also given the interview from Spawn, to keep showing up to every single dragon here and trying to force the hand of FlyQuest. He said, we just needed to be confident. We need to fight. We need to be the team that is saying, you can't sit back and scale. You can't just trade. We're going to fight you. We're going to take things from you. And trying to push the pace by forcing an early soul is great, especially when you have Kalista.
I mean, hey, if we're talking about fighting over objectives, the Dragon just spawned for the second time this game. Second pot of Grub's about to spawn here in 10 seconds. With both objectives up, we'll see if that ends up just being a trade again, or if we're going to have battles for both as Umti secures the bottom river Scuttle Crab. Yeon and CoreJJ rotate over to him.
Quad just went for his reset too, so full purchase there for Quad, but we have APA actually hitting turret, and it's now 2 turret plates mid for APA with all that constant pressure. Quad will get back, but APA goes for the reset now. He's got teleport.
I don't think he's been spotted just yet.
There is that ward on top of the Drake too, so Inspired knows exactly how fast or slow Umti is doing this objective. Busio gonna hasten Massu as FlyQuest is ready to make their approach. Dragon still at about 2/3 here. Yeon and Core moving over towards it. Teleport from Impact is only going back into the top lane now. CoreJJ continuing to just try to distract the bottom lane duo of FlyQuest. The Dragon's down to about 1,400 HP. I don't think FlyQuest can do anything about it. No, sir. Team Liquid take the second Drake.
And I have to say that I'm so focused on mid lane because APA with his pressure mid, him then being in Fog of War, and him going back for his early Trinity Force here, it's like there's so much threat there. Trinity Force Corki is way more impactful. And so really nice setup there. TL, they force it. Of course, they also have Kalista for the secure. They also have the extra, CC here that allows them to go for it. But it's a nice movement up to the top side afterwards. What did FlyQuest get during that? Was there a trade? No, there was not. It was a pure stare down. So TL, true to their call, are not giving you the trades on the other side, although Inspired is
looking for it.
Okay, Impact face checking the brush here. Finds Bwipo and Inspired waiting for him. Flashes away, wants to try to survive as APA is ready to back him up. Inspired eats a couple of shots, couple of rockets. Third and Tofo strike does not hit Bwipo. He's still trying to make his way back into the brushes as Inspired wants to counterattack now, but he only finds the ulti on Umti. True Shot Barrage comes in from downtown, but it ain't gonna matter. Impact's ready to enter the fight. Very low health bars for FlyQuest. The hostile takeover connects, but not onto the right targets just yet. Busio still trying to get away. Nice use of the root there. FlyQuest, they lose one, but they could have lost so much more.
This got so scrappy. All 4 members from both sides fighting in top lane, and the Ezreal and the Kalista were both trying to move up, and they even met and started scrapping in the jungle. So TL, though, at the end of the day, they're the ones coming out on top. They're going to get at least 2 plates here, very likely. And FlyQuest can do nothing about it. They have to give up the wave, give up 2 to maybe even 3 plates because Bwipo has no TP and they know it, and Quad has no TP and they know it. So there's no real response to this play.
And we also got the answer to the question I posed earlier. What about these neutral objectives spawning almost in sync? Not only does Team Liquid get the dragon, they get that second set of grubs. Both teams are going to be tied
the entire tower. This wasn't even hit yet. They got all 5 plates and the tower. That is so much gold going TL's way.
Game successfully accelerated.
It's so cool to see the small things too. With APA's hard work to get his 2 turret plates off mid lane being the difference of seconds and being able to get his Trinity Force, and then TL rotating up to the top side. This one was Maokai coverage and then the teleport from Quad coming in, making the call for the Amumu re-engage.
Yeah, exactly. Quad arrives, the Ezreal all came in. You can see on the minimap, both the AD carries were skirmishing. And it's just Impact getting into the backline, but can't quite finish them off. The hostile takeover buys the time there, though. Make sure there's no ability to actually re-engage. It could have been so much worse for FlyQuest, though. There's an auto or 2 away from that being 4 kills instead of 1.
And even there, if you saw Amumu flashed just out of the Renata ultimate, and because he flashed to the other side, even though Renekton got tagged by it and went berserk, Renekton went towards the Amumu, towards the tower.
Yeah, I noticed that.
If Inspired had not flashed, then Renekton would have also been back in and it would have collected all of them. So that flash actually saved both of their lives by aggroing him towards the safe side too. So it's even closer to just getting all of them. Massive stuff from CoreJJ. The Renata pick 2 games in a row now has been so big.
And Team Liquid, with this over 2,000 gold lead now, is just continuing once more to go after every single possible objective that they can pressure. Now looking to secure this Rift Herald. Umti doesn't need any help. Yeah, he's Maokai. Yeah, it's going to be slow. But they've got control over the mid lane. They've got control over the top lane. APA's up in the enemy jungle, stealing away the Krugs. Phosphorus Bomb to secure that last little bit of the tiny Krugs, and Quad and Inspired, they're not going to be able to stop a whole lot of anything. Another objective goes over to TL.
This APA has just been on a mission, just making gold. He is #1 gold maker. Look at that lead. It is massive. Yes, he did get the solo, tower on the top side and all that, but even beforehand,
isn't that enough for him, Kobe? What is he, Scrooge McDuck?
Yeah, he is, and you should be in league. You should be greedy as hell, especially if you're a mid laner.
Fair, okay.
And because he did his own hard work, like getting the turret plates early, you actually are awarded for your early investments.
I deserve this.
Yeah.
This is my gold.
It's not old money, He got in there.
Yeah.
He created his own company.
He's a self-made man.
Then he got a little help later.
Who gave him that airplane?
True.
Where's that airplane from?
We spawned in with the airplane.
Spawned in with the airplane. Seems like that's probably Grandpa's money.
Scrooge McYap is running the show here in mid lane. And now Impact might find himself in a 1v2 yet again. Bwipo popping the Dominus.
Ooh.
That's a Pepega Frog Dominus.
Yeah. Impact had the read. I got to give credit. Impact had the read. He went backwards with the Pathmaker. Bwipo clearly expecting him to go forwards into that gank. He says, I don't know where your jungler is. No one's responding to play mid lane. I think he might be here.
Something's got to be happening, right? Well, that Herald's going to find the charge onto the tier 2 back in mid lane. Now Impact getting caught out, but he's going to go all out to drag Bwipo back over the wall, and Umti's coming in to help him to turn this into a 2v2, make it a 2v1, make it a beatdown, as Bwipo can't do anything but try to get away from Ksante. That True Shot Barrage was coming from Bwipo's own team. It's not like it was going to do a whole lot to stop Impact. Bwipo still trying to get away here, at least forces Impact to flash to kill him. But man, if that's the only thing you can look forward to, at least I died slightly better.
Yeah.
Not going great.
Impact just really showing great top lane instincts, backs off in the initial play, then in the 1v2, finds the angle, gets the kill and the outplay.
Was there any doubt that he is the top lane GOAT for the LCS?
No,
Actually, zero doubt and confirmed yet again.
And according to Impact, there's no doubt that he's the MVP. He said it in an interview on stage. He said, normally there's a lot of tension. It's kind of exciting to find out who's going to be the MVP. This year, it could only be me.
True, he's got my vote already.
I agree. Impact for MVP. I'm on the campaign trail. But hey, FlyQuest at least got something back right there. They get the 3rd Drake of the game. They stop TL from getting to Soul Point. They'll at least put the brakes on that a little bit, but it's still a 3,000 gold lead for Team Liquid. Things are still going their way. We are not seeing this FlyQuest comp be able to accomplish what it did in the previous game.
And we're seeing, again, the continuation of this Mikhail's Rush meta. Because we've seen Amumu over and over, the knock-on effects of the changes here I do like, and the reactions. The importance of getting someone out of that CC obviously is paramount.
I mean, it's just massive, especially when Kalista's playing barrier, right? This is not going to be that cleanse Kalista, so you need to have someone buying it. It makes more sense the support spends the money on a Mikhail's than Yeon spends money on a QSS. It's better for him to just accelerate his itemization.
Especially with an AD carry like Kalista. You don't look at Kalista and think of, oh yeah, we're going to scale all the way to the end game. You want to be aggressive. You want to be scrappy. You always want to be ahead of the curve of the game. APA just going to continue pushing out the side lane now. Remember, there is that big ulti available for Quad. That is also an X factor that could change one of these team fights. The Skies Descend, the AoE is the whole map. Might be able to cause some sort of a difference here, but APA is just going to continue padding those pockets.
And while the game is looking really good for TL right now, I will say that Dragon was still pretty important because it buys FlyQuest a lot more time to scale. Both junglers hanging around as they're going to go.
Yeah, CoreJJ is the bait as Umti brings in the firepower. Hostile takeover right over the top, and Busio's right into the ground. Inspired tries to escape, but Umti does a nice job there with a Bramble Smash to set it up, so Inspired drops 2. Another clean 2-0 trade over to Team Liquid.
That's a Maokai master right there. I like that little bump. Able to make sure they do get that
kill. I heard you. They were like, ooh! Like, I need to do that.
The tank junglers need some oohs and ahs, okay?
Yeah,
so when you get one of those,
respect.
I got your back, Umti.
Yeah. Look at that cue. You go, Umti.
With the flash, okay. With the very flashy play. I like it.
Respect.
Obviously, I mean, the third team All-Pro is a little bit of a sting, so happy to shout him out. And we're going to get another look at it, I believe, in the chase down on the replay. He also had a really good ult on his, or angle on his ult, which went into CoreJJ's.
I always love Maokai plus the Renata. Oh, APA maybe caught out.
APA flashing to the other side of the blast cone. Yeah, he wanted to make sure that he got on the other side of the blast cone so Busio couldn't stop that escape route.
Yeah, and Busio drops the ward right on the blast cone, hoping he would misclick to hit that, and then he could have maybe got caught up too. But Renata plus Maokai is so powerful. What's the counter to Maokai ult? You all stack up and one guy tanks it. What's the counter to Renata ult? Well, you all got to spread out. You can't do both at once, and that's the thing that makes it really, really difficult. You throw out the Maokai ult, they all have to group behind someone. Renata ult comes to the top, and it just creates chaos. Like, it's very slow moving, so yeah, your carries can just run away and avoid it, but they're not doing anything during that time, and your front line is getting destroyed.
I just imagined the AI just getting stun locked. They're like, we have to group. Oh no, we have to spread. How do we deal with the problem?
Well, unfortunately for FlyQuest, this problem has grown to a massive size of almost 5,000 gold just 21 minutes into the game. Top side river control again in Team Liquid's favor as they secure the crab. They clear out some of the vision from the Baron
This is how
pit.
that last one set up, you know, with it was Bwipo TPing in that actually forced that initial play, but Core in trouble.
Yeah, he has to flash over the wall to get away there. Quad threatening to lock him up. He still does not have the Rylai's though on the Aurelion, so it is easier to get away from him. There's not that perma stick power.
So the fans asked earlier, you know, how does Spawn's belt work, or how does it feel?
What brand was it?
I would say it works, because look at the adjustments. The adjustments were so small in draft coming into this game, but so big in play. Massive, massive difference this time around with a 6,000 gold lead, with the dragons controlled, also splitting on the grubs.
Look at the gold lead in mid lane, by the way.
Yeah,
APA has just
4,
been vacuuming up so much gold.
I'm saying it started all with those first 2 turret plates.
Started with turret plates, and then some more turret plates, and then some more towers, and now he has enough gold to complete rapid fire when he goes back to base. He's going to be on 3 items. Quad's still trying to get to 2.
And the reasoning is, TL always know, well, he is our best scaling champion, so you always put him to get that solo tower gold. After they do the successful play on top side, everybody clear out. That's APA's money. He gets that tower. You saw the play on the bottom side. Everybody clear out. That's his tower. He gets the gold. So it just has this compounding effect where now you're afforded the benefits of a 3-item Corki at 22 minutes into the game. All this extra range with the rockets as well as the rapid fire.
You don't get swimming pools full of money by sharing, Kobe. They make sure that it's all concentrated in one spot, and that spot is spelled APA. 2 seconds left on the clock until the next Drake spawns, and Team Liquid has total control over the bot side river. Bwipo wants to try to at least trade the tier 1 turret in the top lane for it, and Impact won't be able to stop that.
Yep, and he will be able to get a bounty. This is largely because Impact says, they're not showing bot side. They could all be behind me right now, right? They could be looking for that wraparound, so he's not going to fight him for it. He's just going to back off. You do get that objective bounty, which is a nice little chunk of gold there for FlyQuest, but it's now TL still 5,000 gold ahead. They're at soul point. So FlyQuest really only gets this next 5 minutes to scale. You have got to get as much gold as possible on Quad, on Massu. Pray that you can get to 3 items somehow and have a hope in this next fight.
It's tough, man. Bwipo caught on the very edge of the Intofo strike.
He's just still the GOAT. Over the wall, hits the Q3. That one was just so you know.
Just sending a message. As a team,
stay out.
He's gonna send another message by continuing to control all of the neutral objectives, even the small ones, like the crab. Goodbye, Mr. Crab. Umti just going to pick that one up for himself. We do have the Leandries completed for the Maokai, so those annoying saplings that sit in the brushes are just going to be that much more obnoxious when you try to face check into them.
It is, I feel like, always more annoying when you're behind, too, because then they have time to set up saplings everywhere, and you're having to walk their second through all these saplings that are slowing you down further and further and further, and just buying the opposing team time to set up for that engage or set up to finish that objective.
And that's the big difference why TL prefer the Maokai over the Amumu. All the other teams in playoffs so far have been early picking this Amumu, but TL, even in the first game, early in the series, they threw down the Maokai first. Then they respond also, even when FlyQuest pick up the Amumu early. They're very happy to have this Maokai and have that extra vision tool for later in the game when you do get to these objective standoffs.
All right, this mid lane turret is not looking too great. Team Liquid might just try to hard force it down. Not quite gonna have the damage here just yet. One more auto attack from Yeon might do it. Nope, just the damage over time from those grubs earlier was enough. 6.3 thousand gold lead. 3 minutes left on the clock until the soul spawns. FlyQuest still scrambling to get that gold in their pockets as Team Liquid heads over to the Baron.
Yeah, they're just going to start this up. Again, you have Kalista. Umti's just showing and saying, we're not doing it, we're not doing it. They are going to scout it out and spot it with the Ezreal ulti, and I think TL should back off. It's a pretty early Baron to commit to.
Umti's a liar.
Yeah, APA and Umti are off to the side, though. They're going to fire off the Maokai ulti. Now, Bwipo... Okay, he's fine. He's fine. I was a little bit worried there for a second as Massu and Busio trying to fire back at APA and Umti. Get him out of the jungle. All right, Yeon's going bowling. Throws CoreJJ right on in there, but a TP about to arrive from Quad as FlyQuest is ready to take the fight, but they got to be careful because Massu's already down to 20% HP. Quad has the Sky's Descent. He might look to drop it right here on Core and Yeon. Bwipo trying to slice and dice his way in. He flashes for the Ruthless Predator, but it ain't going to be enough. There's so much damage coming out from TL. The ulti finally hits from the Aurelion Sol. FlyQuest is going to find the kill.
Yeah, they got separated there by the Azael ulti. The hostile takeover was nice, but the Azael ulti was coming in at the same time. So TL couldn't really move forward to back up Impact to capitalize on that. Impact ends up getting separated from the team. He had the bailout, but his flash was too late. The bailout had already been procced. So then no kill, and you are not going to get out of there alive. This play one more time started off very well by Impact. Notice how he just pushes Inspired away, keeping space. But the problem here is TL are very separated.
Yeah.
FlyQuest are able to just attack the TL bot lane, even though the great handshake is there to actually disrupt the initial play. They get in, they force their hand, and APA is not here until just now.
And I want to point out that cleanse that they used onto the Aurelion Sol to allow him to immediately drop that ultimate. They were able to get it off, and they were able to get him out of that Renata ultimate. The Mikhail's on both sides, and it was Busio this time. Since the Dragon got hit by it first, he's able to get it off on the Aurelion Sol first, allow the Aurelion Sol freedom, and again, those charged up ultimates, the stars from the Aurelion Sol, that's why they're investing so much into this pick.
I mean, it's the whole lane, right? Like, you saw that thing. It covers the entire lane. So, you can't just run through it. You'll die. But at the same time, it bought so much time.
I, too, love the Azael when he's on my team. And when Quad is playing it.
Yeah.
That also helps.
40 seconds, though, and it is going to be a soul angle here, so we'll see.
And Quad, despite the fact that it was a big ulti, despite the fact that that fight did go FlyQuest's way, they didn't really get a whole lot more after it. They were able to secure the objective bounty in the bottom lane. Most of that was just the minion wave walking in and taking care of business for them. It's still a 5,000 gold lead for TL. 4,000 of that is still on APA on the Corki.
And you look at the actual completed items, right? They couldn't get towards 3 items on either their carries over on the FlyQuest side. APA is on 3.5, and the third item is going to be coming in here pretty soon for Yeon. Of course, he's still on 2, so that's at least something working for them. But this is where you have to kind of make your decision. Do you give up soul, or do you draw your line in the sand and say, nope, we just have to fight it out now and decide the game?
Saplings being applied to brushes as Team Liquid makes their way to the Drake pit. They're taking it slow, setting up some of those control wards, seeing if FlyQuest will hastily check into the brush.
Yeah, you're going through a minefield of saplings into Renata and Maokai ultimate. So that thing is totally gone.
All right, Sol secured by TL. FlyQuest still moving forward, chasing after him a little bit here. A nice handshake coming up from CoreJJ. Inspired gets an ulti. It's followed up with the Aurelion Sol ultimate, but it's not the big one. Now Bwipo is coming around from the side, but it's just the alligator delivery system. APA's happy to accept the package. It's a triple kill back for the Corki. Make it a quadra. This might just be what APA's looking for. He goes in. Pentakill. APA.
Captain America to the rescue, flies in, dominates the team fight. TL get the soul, and they're gonna get the game.
The rich get richer. APA started early, and he is going to end incredibly rich as TL strike back again.
TL had a rough game 2, but clearly they came into game 3 with a plan. APA was given all the resources, the bot lane was given the attention they needed, and Team Liquid is giving FlyQuest a knuckle sandwich. They're moving to match point, 2-1.
0-0-1 until the final fight of the game, into a pentakill there for APA. He takes over, makes it pay off all the gold that they put into his pockets. They execute on that team fight very well.
And even though he's the one to collect and get the pentakill, you know, the biggest DPS on the team, the things to examine are how TL is outplaying FlyQuest in some of these small timing differences for the turn after the dragon, where they make the call, they immediately turn around, they grab the kill, then they go for Bwipo as he's trying to flank the other side. It is multiple team fights where they're able to get that.
Team Liquid looking good in game number 3. And now, Raz, why don't you break that